Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Secret Invasion. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 2 of Secret Invasion, everybody's favorite Marvel show. I don't think that the first episode was bad until the very end. Killing Maria Hill, I don't know. Obviously, we have Skrulls, we have I guess I want to say the Coulson factor. It could be a fake out. I hope it's not, but the fact that they did that wide pan out, it makes me feel like it is very permanent. I'm not happy about that. I'm not even here's the thing, it's not even just about Maria Hill. I just feel like I know things have to have stakes and there has to be a cost. But really? Like we never got her story. We never learned anything fully about her. And I really would have liked that. Like she just seems like this accessory character that you were almost on the cusp of getting more information about. And it was just like that's the most raw and vulnerable that we have seen her in the first episode. And then here we are well, moving on. And like I said, if there's a fake out death, I'll be very disappointed because I think that that's lazy writing. But then when it comes to this show and the characters and the storylines and Skrulls and all that we're dealing with, I don't know if we will see her again, if we won't see her again. And I really am I'd be mad if she came back, and I'm mad that they killed her. So I don't really know how to make me happy. And I feel like that's kind of this constant thing with Marvel, is that they try to please too many instead of really focusing on the story. Because the story at the heart of it is what matters. So I'm really hoping that Talos and Gaia are the kind of the heavy hitters when it comes to the heart of the show, that they're the ones that are bringing the heart and soul to this. I know Nick Fury is the main focus, but I feel like Talos is the one that we have to keep an eye on, because I'm worried about him and I'm worried for him. And I'm worried for Gaia because she had to find out that she lost her mother, via her father breaking the news to her a while probably after it happened, and she had no idea. And the guy that she's working for is obviously most likely responsible for it. I think it's Gravik. I should have written it down. But he seems scary. He very much wanted to look into somebody's eyes while they watched someone they know die, or the people around him watching the destruction and just being very calm, cool, and collected about it. That's a terrifying person. So his motivations would be great. I'm really bothered by the fact that it's the Skrulls feeling abandoned by Nick Fury. I don't know what he was doing up on the space station, but him not finding them a home 100%, he's had plenty of time to do it, but they could live on Earth as long as they kind of know that it's not okay to invade and take over, because that then makes them the Kree, and that's an issue. So I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Feelings of abandonment come from everything, and it can cut to the core, and it can cut deep, and it can really hurt. You can feel a sense of, being lost. And I guess when you don't have a home base, even though they have their little compound and everything, that, you act erratically, you act violently. I was really interested in them and the machines that they were using to kind of read people's minds. Now, I know they had that in Captain Marvel, but I didn't know it was in depth, that they could because it was just oh, they could get the password out of somebody's brain, but it felt like it was bigger, it was deeper, there was like stealing someone's essence completely. I don't know, that was the vibe that I got from it, that it was a bigger deal than what was in Captain Marvel. So I would like to know what the long-term effects are of that. Now, a lot of people were saying that they think that Everett Ross is kind of being held by Skrulls, and that was the machine that they were using to kind of get information out of him so they could infiltrate, because I mean that's the guy, even though I think he's on the run, so he doesn't have the access that they think he does. At least he shouldn't, if he did everything for Wakanda that he did. So catching up after the loss of Maria Hill, not that I'm she better be dead, but they're unless we're gonna do a Coulson, she's a Skrull. We can unshoot her, like we can unsnap people. I'm sure she's gone. That's a bummer. But I would like to see more out of Gaia, and of course, I know Monica Rambeau will be in here at some point. I'd like that, and like Olivia Colman, for the small little moments that she had in the last episode, stand out. Totally stand out. So really excited to see more from her. So guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it.
There are thousands of us separated from each other.
They won't be safe here. They need their own home.
Well, that's a good point. I think it's more so that humans aren't safe around them because of their abilities, but I'm an optimist and feel like we could live in peace. Okay, 1997. So they had been living on Earth.
This is Gravik.
Gravik?
Interesting. So Fury probably recognized Gravik? Well, I guess if he has a human form, he wouldn't.
For those of you who braved the journey here to Earth, you did so for one reason. This man. This man. No trust. You know I don't use that word lightly.
Made me emotional.
While you work to keep my home safe, Carol Danvers and I will find you a new one. Who'll be first to take the pledge? Thank you, Soren.
I'm so happy we got this backstory. I don't know why I'm so emotional about it. Okay, I thought she was gone. I'm glad that, like, she's... Okay, good. Oh, yeah, and a lot of people were telling me about this being AI. I think it's beautiful, but, like, I get why people weren't thrilled about AI being used for this. I think that stuff is like fun to play with. For a big show like this, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm glad we got the explanation as to why, like, well, I guess that it's not really an explanation, but I'm glad we got that moment in the beginning where they're discussing that they had to be on Earth because nowhere else was safe. Scroll.
Чернокожий, американец. В поезде Москва-Варшава. Здесь больше шансов встретить инопланетянина.
They've gone.
I'd love to be able to do that. I could be somebody tall for once. How you doing, buddy?
Well, me and my mama used to take these long train rides to Detroit. On these long rides, me and my mother would make up games. Tell me something I don't know. That was one of her favorites. One time she said, "Tell me something I don't know about you and Susie." Me and Susie had a standing game of doctor. We'd been playing behind old man Jackson's barn. Suffice it to say, I wasn't about to tell her about that.
Nope.
You want to go a few rounds?
Sure.
I love this.
Tell me something I don't know about the Skrulls that fled.
They're here. All of us.
Wait. You're telling me there's 1 million Skrulls walking amongst us right now? Have you lost your reptilian-ass mind?
I sent out the call.
Oh, right, but you fine using us as your spies and your errand boys, long as it's on your terms.
The host
gets to set the terms of the visitation.
What happens when the host disappears? Huh? Because you were gone. And I didn't think you were coming back. I really didn't.
You knew how to get in touch with me, Talos, and you didn't because you didn't want me to know.
There's so much.
Skrulls and humans can coexist here on Earth.
Humans can't coexist with each other, Talos. You've been here long enough to know that. We've been at war with each other since we could walk upright. There is not enough room or tolerance on this planet for another species. Matter of fact, neither is this train compartment. I think this is your stop.
Wow. Okay, well, I didn't expect that out of Fury. But, like, what a great moment. What a great kind of discussion. I'm such a blind optimist that I'm like, they could live and coexist together. I'll be in London next week. I'm so excited. Oh. I'm actually really mad we didn't have a moment with Fury talking about losing Hill.
Elizabeth?
Were you there?
Yeah.
How did it happen?
She died in Moscow. We were there trying to stop the attack. Someone wanted to hurt me, so they hurt her.
Oh. So, you're the reason I'm taking my daughter back home in a box.
I'm sorry I couldn't protect her, Elizabeth.
You're Nick Fury. Maria believed in you. She would have followed you to the gates of hell and back. Don't let it be for nothing.
Oh. Apparently he's not too good at keeping promises, so I wouldn't expect much.
One suspect is currently in custody, identified as a leading member of the online fringe group Americans Against Russia.
Oh, he was the guy that they took last episode.
There's no way that Moscow attack was committed by Americans. This has got false flag written all over it.
Getting everything in the mix. False flag. No one knows about the scrolls.
Just get me to the council meeting. I want to see their faces while Moscow's still burning. I'm not out in an hour. Shoot him in the head.
Okay.
Madam Prime Minister,
Oh boy.
I see you playing the man's game, using the man's fork and knife.
Better to behave as a human than as a dog.
Oh.
The purpose of tonight is to determine what punishment, if any, should be meted out on the individual who has imperiled us all. You murdered over 2,000 innocent humans.
2,000 people died in that? Gosh.
What gives me the right? Humans were doomed to self-destruction. Long before we arrived on this planet, they were destined to consume themselves.
Fair.
So for anyone flinching at the thought of innocent deaths, let me assure you, we're only hastening the inevitable.
And what happens if the Avengers return?
You don't think I thought about that? Put your faith in me, and I promise, your loyalty will be repaid.
I think that means the Avengers are going to return.
We need a single commander whose war power is total and unchecked.
My God.
Therefore, I nominate Gravik to the post of Skrull General.
Traitor. I'm the commander of NATO. I can mobilize 1 million troops at the snap of...
Oh!
Shall I remove him, madame?
Oh, I don't think he'll be any more trouble.
Wow.
All those in favor of Gravik as our new general.
If you don't agree, you're in trouble.
Will submit.
I fear each one of you has forgotten our history. I do not support your coup. I will not support your war.
I dig her a lot.
and I do not submit.
Love it.
You go in peace, sister. You'll not be harmed.
I'm worried for her.
If there's anything I can do.
Yeah, set up a mate between me and Gravik.
I wouldn't be having that conversation right in front of that building.
But if you can't keep it together, you will not walk out alive.
Shirley, set up the mate. Just tell him I want to talk about my daughter.
Okay. See, I'm worried for Talos. I do like how she's observing them, because obviously, like, she's watching them for a reason.
Gravik has given me multiple locations for the harvest, all of them empty. Our fearless leader is the daughter's
Harvest for what? Whoa.
Colonel.
Yay, Brody.
Respectfully, Prime Minister, I can't take the authenticity of Russian-supplied photos at face value. However, I will be more than happy to have them analyzed at our facilities at Langley. Slovakia rolls its eyes at me one more time, I'm going to put on the suit and carpet bomb it.
Oh, jeez.
Until such time as you can present an actual shred of evidence to back those concerns up, I'm afraid sensitivity is all you're going to be getting from us.
Nice.
Right?
Handled. I love getting more from Rhodey in this kind of position.
Rhodes.
Nice suit, Armani.
Brioni.
Pretty expensive for a government salary.
Yeah, well, my other suit's made of titanium, so this actually constitutes considerable saving.
You sound frustrated. What's the matter? Croatia talking crap?
Slovakia.
Well, carpet bomb their ass.
Do me a favor and try not to pop off a nuclear holocaust before you get there.
Jeez. They act like this is Fury's fault. I mean, technically, he didn't keep his promise, so yeah, a little bit of it might be his fault, but how do we even know that that was actually Rhodey? That's the thing, is like, I think everybody's a Skrull.
I'm this close to handing your ass over to the Russians.
Forgetting your rank here, Colonel Rhodes?
You do not want to be playing mine is bigger than yours with job titles right now, Fury. Trust me. I'm the last friend you got. 2,000 dead so far. Meaning you not only set the stage for World War III, but you simultaneously flipped all of our allies to Team Russia.
Is that what happened? It's extreme.
How well do you know your security detail?
What do you mean, how much do I know about them?
What if I told you they were all spies?
Hydra?
Yeah, if Hydra was a bunch of green guys who could shapeshift into your daddy.
It's a valid question to ask.
Maybe we should call our friends.
No. We can't jump the gun on that. You know, we get them in a fight with the Skrulls, and next thing you know, they find themselves duplicated and turned into terrorists.
Fury.
This is my war, Brody.
Is this Gravik being Rhodey right now?
We protect the planet by protecting our seat at the table.
Are you forgetting who helped you get your seat at the table?
Oh, so I owe you now? Is that it?
We owe each other. Men who look like us don't get promoted because of who our daddies know. Every ounce of power we wrestle from the vice grip of the mediocre Alexander Pierces who run this world was earned in blood. So let's make the power mean something. Help a brother out.
The reason we wrestled this power from mediocre men who don't look like us was not simply to turn around and hand it to mediocre men who do. The point of this power is to be uncompromising, to be unsparing, to be able to sit across from a man we greatly admire and to tell him without any reservation that he's fired. That's what this moment right here, right now is about, Nick.
Did he just fire Nick Fury?
Is it you to fire me?
Nobody sent me. I volunteered. You earned all this smoke, brother.
Wow.
And you wonder why you're out.
I'm Nick Fury.
Even when I'm out, I'm in.
Oh no, that the whole time I was like, is that graphic? It's good to see him break down. He just lost Maria Hill and he didn't even cry any tears. But he is over a job. Maria Hill deserved better. Just saying.
Эта дверь была заперта.
Yes, and now that the door is unlocked, what does that tell you about me and doors?
Where is your safe house? Speak!
Didn't your mother ever warn you could lose an eye by beating your meat like that?
Oh!
Now, shall we do this the easy way or the other way?
I'm gonna break these chains, and then I'm gonna break every bone in your body.
The other way it is.
Yeah.
Well, now that's confirmed. Let's party, shall we?
Yikes. I love her, but yikes. Groot. Frost Beast. Cull Obsidian? Why is that familiar?
You're wasting your time. I'll never talk to you.
Well, that's
Ooh,
very
what is
brave.
this?
But everyone talks when their blood starts to cook at 160 degrees centigrade. It's a biochemical imperative. The smart ones start talking earlier than that. You a smart one?
That sounds
Right, I don't
horrible.
think so.
Go ahead. Put it in my arm. I don't care.
Yeah, you could never torture me. I'd sing. I would sing. Oh, this is gonna be awful. She's brutal. I don't want to be like, I like her, but like, I dig that type of character.
He's building a machine.
What kind of machine?
I think it's to make us stronger.
Oh, great. That's the last thing we need.
I can't, please. Graphic will kill me.
You're gonna
I'm
die
terribly
if
sorry,
you
but
don't.
If I don't get a name, Graphic won't get the chance to kill you.
The name's Dalton.
Oh, you see, that wasn't so terribly difficult, was it?
Принеси мне колбасы. Давай, иди.
This guy. Oh!
Sounds like your lift is here.
Listen, I'm just gonna go and check round back.
Oh, cool. I'll come with.
No. You stay here. They might come out with Brogan.
Is she working with what's her face? You keep wanting to say Olivia, and I know that's not her name in the show.
How very Dostoevsky.
She's not like in much of a mad rush. She's just very calm, cool, and collected. It's unnerving. And then who's Gaia calling? I thought she was going to be calling her because she's working with her or something, but...
What'd you tell her?
Nothing, just lies.
Nothing. Just lies.
That's all, I swear.
Take him to the car.
He doesn't believe him.
How did they find our safe house?
It was her, but he's going to think it was Brogan.
Pull over.
I'm kind of interested, like, in Gaia and who she's working with, because I don't think she's working with her father, but there's another party. Maybe it is Monica Rambeau. Yeah, kiddo, watch closely. You don't want to be associated with these people. What the hell was that look? It's like he knows. Need some window tint, bro. Ooh, nice house. Does he have a Skrull lady that he spends some time with? It's my type of house. I just want to point that out. That is stunning. Wood ceiling.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Better?
Almost.
I thought it was where they were focusing on her wedding band on her hand at the very beginning. I'm so happy for him. Okay, so fairly a little emotional in a couple places in this episode. I'm glad that we got some information. Definitely, the beginning with Talos talking about how much he trusts Fury, and obviously Fury finding a partner out of the whole thing. I actually found myself getting angry at the end, like where I'm happy for Fury that he has somebody. I'm just like thinking about like when Rhodey is talking with the heads of state and they're talking about Mr. Nick Fury and Miss Hill. And that really breaks my heart that like Maria probably didn't have a life. Like she probably gave up a lot. She gave up so much. I don't think I'm letting go of the Maria Hill thing. I think I'm going to continue to be very angry about that. Very frustrated by that. Especially because he was more sad about losing his damn job than he was about losing his friend. Even talking to her mother, where I was like in pain because like her mother had to experience this, and Maria gave up everything because she trusted Fury so much and she would have followed him to the ends of the earth. And like, I didn't see one tear shed for her. Now, obviously the discovery that like the rest of the Skrulls are on Earth is frustrating, and I understand the reason why Talos wouldn't have wanted to say anything, but also if you really truly trusted Fury, you would have. And I realize that Fury's not the same person as he was pre-snap, but I think that goes with everybody. I mean, everybody in the known universe experienced that. So there has to be a little bit of empathy and sympathy for somebody who struggled. And I don't know how long he had been in a relationship with this woman, or Skrull, or I don't think we got her name. But if she lost him during the blip, or like who did Talos lose during the blip? Like there had to be like so many people that were affected by that. And how do you not have empathy for Nick Fury and why he kind of reacted the way he did? Now that being said, a promise is a promise, but like a cataclysmic event like the snap, I'm sure you need to adjust your expectations. I'm just saying. Now, with Gravik and being brought in and like learning about his family, yeah, I get how he could be like this radical extremist on one side, and you know, everyone applauding him when he walks back into the compound after like 2,000 people died because of him. Like, really? Like that made me uncomfortable. Like I'm like very much for like, you know, accepting refugees and accepting people that are different than me and welcoming them. But that type of response to that type of violence, that worries me, because that's how you make more extremists. Now, I don't know what's going on with Gaia. Obviously, she called somebody while Gravik was trying to get Brogan. I don't know who she called. I don't know if it was Nick Fury. I don't know if it was her father. I don't know if it's Monica Rambeau. Like, I'm not sure who she's calling, but the safe house being found while they are on their way back to the compound is really interesting, and I'm sure that she had a hand in that. And you know, maybe she's playing chess behind the scenes, and especially with the scientist and like looking up, you know, everyone on the computer. For some reason, the name Call Obsidian was on there, and I don't know who that is. If you can tell me in the comments below who that is, I would love that, because I've heard the name, I've seen the name. I don't know if it was in something that I watched, like something like. I don't know if I was watching, like, because I tend to watch a lot of like comic book guys go over a lot of Marvel stuff sometimes when I'm just trying to like research maybe something that like I don't know enough about, which I'll probably do this weekend about Call Obsidian. But like if you could just like let me know, like, is that associated with Kang, or am I making that up? I don't even know. But the name was very familiar, and it kind of went, but it was like Groot, something else, and then Cull Obsidian, and then Extremists. Which he was looking up the scientists, so like they're pretty important, and they're trying to make the Skrulls stronger. But I don't know what the harvest is, and I don't know if it's harvesting DNA, if it's harvesting nuclear energy, if it's harvesting, like, what are they harvesting to try to make the Skrulls stronger? Looking forward to that. Because when we start getting into the science of things, you have me. I want to be connected to that. I want to know all about it. I want to see like what you're doing to make that happen. Very exciting times. Now, we had some great interactions between these men, and I really love when things kind of get emotional. And definitely it is between Talos and Fury. Talos, and them playing the game, and Fury opening up to him about his mom, and them having like their little conversation on the train. It's all about telling truth, and he was essentially trying to interrogate him, but like he knew that something was being hidden from him. And that really sucks that Talos didn't trust Fury enough to tell him. I think he knew that Fury would be upset, but I think like having 1 million Skrulls on Earth would kind of motivate you to maybe find another world that the Skrulls could thrive on. And I know that they were having a hard time with that, but like in 1997, it felt like they had already given up 2 years later, because there was too much violence and there was too much that they were facing that they had to come back to Earth. I think they should have tried harder for longer. I don't know. Like I said, like I'm such an optimist that I'm just like, Skrulls could live on our planet, but they kind of, Fury points out, like, humans can't even live with other humans. So what makes you think that they're going to accept Skrulls? It is a very valid point. Again, that's not how my mind and my heart works, but I realize that I might be, I don't even want to say in the minority. I think I'm in the majority of a lot of people who would be accepting, but that minority is really loud and really violent and really angry. And I do feel like that would be a problem in hindsight. My bad for having some compassion and some hope and some positivity and just believing that people can be good, because I realize that that is not always the case. Damn. And you've seen now the Skrulls infiltrate like these the higher heads of state, like like the prime minister of was she the UK, Russia? Who was she? I don't know. I forget now who she's the prime minister of. But like the one lady bowing out, I feel for her. I feel like that's not going to be something that Gravik is going to really let go. He might let her think so, but I feel like that payment will come due. But you've seen the infiltration, and like I even thought, I was like, I don't even think Rhodey is Rhodey right now. And I was just like, okay, well, this is a conversation that they're having that seems very, that's the other conversation that I was like excited to have, because like Rhodey always kind of seemed like a caricature, of a character until probably Endgame. And then you got to see a little bit more seriousness, but then like, he then was the comic relief. And I did not get that, like maybe a little bit when he's like, let me carpet bomb Slovakia. But, him having kind of like that very serious conversation with Nick Fury and firing Nick Fury and kind of like saying like, don't throw our culture back in my face as like some way to get sympathy for me. And I'm happy they had that conversation. It was very uncomfortable because like, obviously I'm just a bystander watching this conversation, but I'm sure that type of conversation happens in different ways in different cultures all the time. And Nick being more upset about being fired than about Maria is still sticking with me. And maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back, 100%. Like maybe he was just trying to hold it in. But I really would have loved to see him be so crushed about Maria and be so upset that his friend and his confidant and this person that supported him for this whole length of time is now gone. I would have loved to have seen something from him more so than just yelling at Talos and then getting mad about being fired. So again, I don't know if Gravik was Rhodey or if Rhodey is still Rhodey and we're good. I don't know. I don't know what to trust. But like interestingly enough, I definitely feel like Gaia is a double agent. But with who is the question? I think it's pretty obvious that she's not entirely comfortable with what Gravik's doing. And now we see that he's willing to sacrifice people, that like he feels betrayed by. And I mean, Brogan went through it. He had his finger cut off. He was boiling from the inside. He didn't give up really anything about Gravik, just the scientist, which I feel like is very important. And again, I cannot remember who Olivia Colman plays, because when I see her, I'm just like, I'm ready to see Olivia Colman do her thing, and she's always so fantastic. So fantastic. Oh, I want bigger, greater scenes with her, but like that, like she leaves a lasting impression every time she's on screen. So that's the sign of like somebody who's truly great at their craft. Okay, guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and let me know about Cull Obsidian. Who do you think Gaia is talking to? And, like, are you an optimist like me, where you really thought, like, Skrulls could live in harmony on planet Earth? Because I now feel like a fool, because all of the little nuances were kind of pointed out in this episode. And I feel really bad that I was, like, just kind of like, just let them live here. Everything's great. And I'm like, oh, no, that's problems. That's a lot of problems. Anyone that can replicate you, look like you, act like you, and then manipulate the system, yikes. Yeah, I tend to like think that everybody is innately good, and I think that that might actually be a problem. I want everyone to be like Talos, where I feel like I can trust them and they have a good heart and they have a kindness about them. And I'll just say that, like, Ben Mendelsohn in the beginning of this episode was very powerful, and I'm very fortunate that we have the actors that we do in this series, because, like, let's face it, Samuel L. Jackson isn't the strongest actor, although he plays iconic characters. But like with Ben Mendelsohn, Olivia Colman, we haven't really gotten a whole lot of out of Emilia Clarke, so I'm kind of like waiting for her big moment. But like, we know it's there. We've seen her act her ass off. So like, I'm really excited about the acting in here. But like, let me know. Cull Obsidian. Who do you think Guy is talking to? And then, like, are you also that eternal optimist that thinks everything's just going to be okay and everyone can live in harmony because everyone must be like me, where they have an open heart and an open mind? I don't know. Now I feel like a fool. Anyway. But next week I will be putting this up late because I will be out of the country. I'm very excited. First vacation in like 6 years. But the first thing I'll do when I get back is watch the next episode. So there'll be a Secret Invasion kind of close together. But next week we'll be up late, very late. But in the meantime, guys, I'm still struggling with Maria Hill. I'm still struggling with Maria Hill. Are you still struggling with Maria Hill? Because I'm still struggling with Maria Hill. Okay, guys. I'm going to struggle some more. But in the meantime, I'll see ya.